Hey, my name is Joshua Holm, and I want to review the Huakai or Kai Science Ionic Footbath. And basically what that is it's a foot bath. You put your feet into it, and it works to help you detoxify heavy metals and other toxins. And it came to my knowledge because of an interview that I listened to by Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, and he was being interviewed by Wendy Myers, who does the Myers Detox podcast, formerly called the Live to 110 podcast. It's a great podcast, and if you're looking to detoxify your body, that's probably like the #1 podcast that I would recommend to listen to. It's not like 100%, of course, no podcast is, but it's full of solid information about how to get your minerals balanced, and to displace heavy metals from your body as well as bind them. But so she interviewed Dietrich Klinghardt, and they talked for a really long time about all kinds of wonderful things. You definitely have to check out that episode. You can find it on YouTube. And he ended up talking about the Ionic Footbath, and I thought it was just amazing, but you know, it was kind of a hard thing to get to because it was a little expensive, and I wasn't sure if it was like the #1 thing that I should be paying attention to. I do a lot of health things. I've been on this health journey for 3 years, and I've spent a lot of money on things, and I just wasn't sure if the Ionic Footbath was like the #1 thing that I should put my eggs into that basket. But I ended up buying one, and there's the more expensive ones like the Ion Cleanse, and I'm sure it's wonderful, but I could afford the Kai Science brand, and so I wanted to make a video about basically how it works and show you how to use it, like a real instructional video. So I hope that you get a lot out of this. Now, whether or not it works, that's a question that I think you should do some research, and I think that you could quickly find out that man, people are reversing diseases. People are helping their children with autism. And if you put your feet into the foot bath, the controversy is, well, you see toxins coming out into the water. But there's all these other videos on YouTube that's like, no, that's total BS, because whether or not your feet are in the water, you'll see all this mucky stuff in the water. So it's not a good litmus test to determine whether or not it's actually working. But there's 2 things I want to talk about that. What they've noticed is that it's actually looking at urine samples 48 or 72 hours later, you see a huge dump in heavy metals. So you'll actually put your feet in this, and you'll see some things in the tub that I think you'll see more with your feet in it than if your feet weren't in it. And you'll see certain things in there that look biological. And so that's really up to you to decide, but the science behind it really is that about 48 to 72 hours later, you'll actually excrete heavy metals and other toxins like mold mycotoxins out of your urine and most likely into the toilet. I mean, through feces, not through urine. That is redundant. But anyway, so what I want to do is show you how I'm going to do this, or how this works. So here we go. Okay, so firstly, it comes in this box right here. And it also came with a TENS unit and an infrared waist belt. And I'm not going to go into that in this video, but I am going to show you the machine and how it works. Okay, so I've got the machine going, and right here you've got massage therapy, which is really the TENS aspect of the machine. And this is the Huakai brand. It's not the Kai Science, but it's the exact same model. And then over here you have the far infrared waist belt. But right here is the Ionic Footbath part of it. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to take you to this this section. Now there is a second part to the Ionic Footbath, which is the bathtub. So you can actually like drop the array into the bathtub and do it that way. I haven't done it that way. But if anybody has done it that way and would like to share, I'd love to hear about that. So we're going to go back to the Footbath part. And right here you have model negative, or model 1 and model 2. And model 1 is positively charged ions, which help you detox things like mold mycotoxins. And model 2 is the negative ions, which help you detox heavy metals. It's going to be preset to auto, and that's what I use. But I changed the number of the time spent to about 45 minutes. Okay. So then I'm going to push start. And the array is not yet connected. So I'm going to take the array, and some of these have different connections. So when you're buying arrays, make sure that yours fits your machine. This one is a 2-prong array, and it fits with this one, but there are some that are 3-prong, and so make sure that you buy the right one, because I've made that mistake before. They're relatively cheap if you can find them on eBay. You can find the right one, and you stick it into the water, and you want to make sure that it's completely submerged. Now right away, if it's not completely submerged, that's fine, because your feet are still going to go in there and displace some of the water and make it rise. So then you're going to look at this hydrogen level, and it says a 0.2. And what this is like it's saying right here, please add moderate salt to the bath water. You're going to use whatever salt that you have lying around. I have this iodized sea salt. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of salt into the water and kind of swish it around and make sure that the salt dissolves. And then check this is the salt level again, and it's showing a 1.4. I want it to be about 3.6 to its cap, which is 4.2. So I'm going to add a little bit more in there. And that brought it up to about a 3. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Now the thing is if it goes over 4.2, it's going to start beeping. Beep, beep, beep. And that will basically mean that there's too much salt in it, and that you should take some of the water out and add more fresh water in. And that is a total pain, so you really want to avoid doing that by just babying it and making sure that it has the right amount of salt. So right now it's at a 4.2. Actually, I think the alarm is at about 4.4. So I'm gonna make it go off. Oh, I didn't even have to. So it already started going off. So a lot of the time you can just swish it around a little bit better, kind of get the salt more evenly dispersed throughout the water, and then it'll kind of calm down. And that's about a 4 now. So with the foot bath, I never bought like the foot bath because they were just a bit of a more investment. I just got like a little, I think I got this thing at the dollar store. It's just a little container, and I put a trash bag liner in it. And you don't even have to use a trash bag liner. You can just use the same container, but it's gonna get a little bit mucky and filthy. So as you can see, the water is getting brown already. It's just actually the the array breaking down a little bit, but don't worry, it's completely safe, and it's not going to raise your heavy metals to have your feet in that. It's I mean, the results show that your metals are going to come down drastically. So then you're going to stick your feet in it for about 45 minutes. It's very relaxing. It activates parasympathetic nervous system, so it calms and relaxes you and helps you detoxify. Children actually enjoy this. My child like begs. She cries out, "Dad, a soot bath, please." And my daughter doesn't have autism or anything, but she did have a high level of aluminum, and so we started her on silica and foot baths, and so from here forward, what you do is you're gonna stick your feet in, and the reason why I have these towels around my foot bath is because you're gonna spill a little bit of water, and you don't want that to go into your wood floor and create a mold situation. And as well, you don't want to have like that mucky stuff on your floor. So your arrays are going to last you probably 40 foot baths. Hopefully you can take care of them by soaking them in apple cider vinegar or just any kind of vinegar for 20 minutes if it's pure, or if it's diluted, you know, like half and half water and vinegar, you can set that in there for a couple hours. Some people take a little toothbrush and kind of just clean up the little wires in your array, and they boast that it makes it last a little bit longer. They're not the most expensive things, but they're still very, very precious because they help you heal, and so you want to make them go as long as possible. My family has had pretty good results using this model, so it's a model that I would recommend. I don't make money off of this. I'm not an affiliate partner with Kai Science or Huakai, but it's worked for us, so it's definitely worth checking out. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to message me or comment down below, or find me on Facebook, or email me at joshua@gmail.com. Be sure to like and subscribe. That helps a lot. And I really hope that this journey that you're on finds an end, and that you find healing, because healing from chronic illness it's extremely hard. It's extremely tasking. You've got children. You know, I've been healing my chronic fatigue, and my detoxing heavy metals is by far one of the best things that you can do, as well as things like sunlight and good water and a ketogenic diet, those kinds of things that really clean and charge your mitochondria. That's the best thing that you can do. But if you're dealing with things like mold, mycotoxins, well, they say that heavy metals is probably the major thing that you want to deal with, because heavy metals make you more susceptible to mold illness. So I commend this product to you, and I really hope that it works out for you, and God bless you on your healing journey. Thanks. Bye.